Anna, I'm going to start with you because I know you love talking about Bill Clinton. No, do you think that this actually could be a good political strategy for Republicans to bring back up the problems that he had 20 years ago?
Well, Dana, let's be fair. It's not Republicans bringing it up, it's Donald Trump. And as we know, this is his modus operandi. He knows that if he says something outrageous, he says something controversial, it will lead to media coverage, and he will continue getting earned media, being on, and which helps him be on top of the polls. It might be good for him short term. Certainly, there's some people in the base, there's some people who like Donald Trump who may like this idea of him taking it to Hillary. But no, I don't think it's helpful. I think it's helpful to Hillary Clinton in the long term. It's an old issue. In fact, I would say Mr. Trump gave Bill Clinton's foundation $100,000, invited Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton to his wedding, maxed out in donations to Hillary Clinton after all these allegations, after all these scandals had surfaced. I mean, we all know Bill Clinton has had his issues. There's a lot of things to go after Hillary Clinton on and scrutinize her on. I think her husband's personal issues is not fair game.
So, Congressman, personal misconduct, of course, the Republicans are going to use it. And some people in media say, is it fair game? Absolutely. Some others have said that
you think it's fair game?
As a Democrat,
yeah.
I've known about this issue. Hell, I had to work through this issue.
But as a political operative, you think it's fair game?
You can't put this under the rug. It's out there. So, yes, deal with it. But, we can also say it's an old issue. Elections about the future. Hillary Clinton received 18 million primary votes in 2008. Right. She came up short on delegates, 18 million. And Democrats knew it. Republicans know it. Independents know it. So if Donald Trump want to go into the sewer and play this game, do it, because that's what Donald Trump enjoys doing.
But more importantly, as we say back home in Denmark, South Carolina, Bill Clinton ain't the one you want it with. Bill Clinton, I say this as a Barack.
Denmark, Bernie Sanders has been referring to.
No, I will tell you, and we'll get you, Professor, but I will tell you this, that as an avid Barack Obama supporter, there is no better politician in the history of the United States than Bill Clinton. Absolutely. Bill Clinton can handle his own. Bill Clinton versus Donald Trump is a mismatch, and we'll take Bill Clinton any day.
So, Congressman, before you get in, I want to put to you what Anna just said, which is it's not the Republicans, it's Donald Trump. But newsflash, Donald Trump is still the Republican frontrunner and could be the Republican nominee. Do you want your Republican nominee? You talk about sort of the appeal to working class people, but this is different. This is raw politics.
I want the Republican Party and the Conservative Party to talk about values for real. This is all about bigger part of a values conversation. President Obama, unfortunately, has been critiquing and using the New Testament to mock Republicans, saying we don't care about widows and orphans lately. On immigration, he says we need to have concern for sojourners and wanderers. He quotes Hebrew scripture, but the Hebrews had 600 additional laws. I wish he would invoke the entire Torah.
Okay, can I just say, you are so already in Congress, because you just took my question and took it in the exact direction you wanted to. That was impressive. That was impressive.
Well,
but do you think Bill
25 is not a bad thing?
Do you think
much is given, much is required?
Let him finish.
Donna just helped me out. So President Obama and the Democrats, they're all too willing to use the Judeo-Christian tradition to invoke the power of the federal government. I just watched Moses the other night, Batman, Christian Bale as the new Moses, great new movie on the Exodus. And I don't think Moses was best buddies with Pharaoh. And I don't think Jesus was best buddies with Pilate. And so if you want to get serious about first principles, go back to James Madison from my district, Thomas Jefferson right next door. These guys set up the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to protect us from the government. So when it comes to values, keep it state and local and in the church, good. But don't use the power of that tradition to get a bigger central government.
Let's go back to Bill Clinton, which is what we began talking about.
Hold on. Go ahead, Donna.
Seriously speaking, we're not throwing any book at the country. The Constitution is the bedrock of our democracy. Good. But and I don't need to speak for President Obama. He's very eloquent. I want to go back to Bill Clinton. I think he's an asset. He's a tremendous asset.
But Donna, you didn't use him when you were campaign manager for Al Gore in 2000.
We had to use him strategically because
the elections you didn't bring him into Florida. You lost Florida.
We won Florida. We didn't get all the votes down.
Okay, all right. We can't go down that hole.
Here's the thing. To make a closing argument in a campaign, when you need to generate more enthusiasm, I mean, Bill Clinton is an asset. Look,
I went to church
Gene
with Bill and
Sanders.
Hillary 25 years ago down at Foundry Methodist Church. Bill would come in with a big old Bible. That's great. But the Democrat Party last year with their platform almost got ejected God out of their party platform. So which way is it? Are we toting the Bible to win votes?
Bakari,
or
you
are we
get the
taking
final
God
word.
out of the
Bakari.
platform?
I think that's pretty asinine. I keep the Bible
I
and
do
the
too. It was a
Constitution and
bad
pretty
move
much
on-
everything
on
that I do.
behalf of the Democrats. It was a terrible move.
But I think that if we're going to, since on Sunday morning we're talking
Yeah,
about the
it's
Bible and all of
relevant,
these
right.
other things, we do know that there's one person who's the standard bearer for your party, which doesn't live those words, and that's Donald Trump.
I
And so-
absolutely reject your idea that Donald Trump is a standard bearer for the Republican Party.
How is he
leading.
not?
There are 17 people that were running for president. There are divisions and factions in the Republican
You
Party.
have to deal with the fact that Donald Trump has been a presence. He's been a strong presence.
And
he has
people are
led.
reacting to him.
He has led
Okay.
since July.
Absolutely.
And you know what? He's going to lead a long time.